México, cabrones!
Welcome to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Ball right now is in between the 12 and the 13. The marker is right at the 12. Fourth down and a half yard. Robinson and Algier in the game. Split backfield behind Cousins. Cousins goes under center. Cousins takes the snap. Handoff Robinson, sweeping left, and in the backfield, and he is stopped. Robinson gets knocked down at the 16, and the Chiefs will take over. With 51 seconds to go, Kansas City turns away Atlanta on 4th and a half yard.
Chargers.
So, Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes, just what are you seeing on tape for them? What are the challenges that they present?
Just multiple challenges. Really good run game. Really good throwing game. Explosive offense. I think everybody understands the challenge of playing a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. In every way, his ability to move the ball, with his legs, with his arm, within the offense is elite.
Chiefs.
They're physical. Nice running game. Heck of a running back, J.K. Dobbins. Quarterback Justin Herbert. We played him multiple times. We know he has a big arm. Can make great plays out of the pocket. And they're physical, hard-nosed football team.
How proud of you locking down last week's game?
We did it good enough to win. I feel like areas we still can get better. We still got a lot of ways we got to improve. But all of it is good when you have a win under your belt. So still got ways to improve and continue to get better week in and week out.
The Kansas City Royals.
So a little closer look at the all-time numbers against Corbin. 8 hits and 24 at-bats. And 3 of the 8 have been home runs. 4 of the 8 have been extra base hits. And that's hit well to center field. Young is back. All the way back, and Renfroe has another home run against Corbin. And the Royals come right back to tie the game.
.424 feet. Beautiful shot. He got all of it, no doubt.
And the Royals have 2 on, nobody out.
Pham, he will not bunt. If he does, that's shame on him. He can drive runs in. Hit a gapper.
That's line to right field. It's going to be down. DeYoung is around third, and he will score just ahead of the throw. Line, base hit, left field, Junior. Hampson scores. Royals lead 3-1. Still nobody out, and that's Junior's first RBI of the series. Line, base hit, center field, Gurriel. And the line keeps moving. Pham comes down from third, and the Royals have 3 in the third without recording an out.
Garcia puts a charge into a ball out to left center. Hampson back, and see you later.
Luis Garcia hits yet another 3-run homer, and in the blink of an eye, the Nationals have tied the game.
And Frazier, it's a line drive, base hit left field. Blanco scores. Massey scores, and Adam Frazier drives in 2 with 1 out in the 9th inning.
outstanding.
And there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jacob Young comes to the plate.
Grounded to Salvi, and the Royals sweep the Nationals. A 3-run rally against the Nationals closer in the 9th inning. The magic number is 2.
We did it today.
Who is we? You, me, Monty?
All of us. Anybody who watched, everybody. We all did it.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Friday, September 27th, 2024. Stephen St. John with producer Jake Gutierrez. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. The Royals sweep the Nationals. They win 7-4.
Yes, sir.
And late last night, if you didn't stay up, the Marlins did the Royals a solid and took care of business against the Minnesota Twins.
Thank you, my friend.
And it only took 13 innings of incompetence before the Marlins finally beat the Twins 8-6. And man, if you get a chance to go back and listen to the bottom of the 12th inning and the Twins television broadcast crew and how pissed off they were. I mean, they'd already failed to score with the lead runner beginning on second base in the 10th inning and the 11th inning. They got out of a jam in the top of the 12th. And so they're pretty all right, here it is. Now we're going to win the game here. Come on, let's go. And so runner on second. Marlins intentionally walk a hitter to set up a possible double play. And the Twins announced, I mean, they had it at this point, but they were hopeful because the Minnesota bullpen had navigated their way through the top of the 12th and got out of the jam. And so, in the bottom of the 12th, and I mean it happened so fast too. So they intentionally walk Lee, and Jeffers comes up. Jeffers had a little bit of a rough night at the plate tonight, but he can lay down a bunt, and they were talking about his ability to bunt because it's runners first and second with nobody out, and the Twins are the home team, so it's the bottom of the 12th, and so they score a run, they win. And they've already got first and second with nobody out. And I think one of the broadcasters said, you want to bunt it toward, make the third baseman field it. Whatever you do, don't pop it up. And I'll be damned, first pitch, bunt. He pops it up towards the first baseman. First baseman catches it. The guy that was on second got caught leaning. And there was even a hesitation because there's nobody there to cover second. And he still got doubled off a second. And whoever, I don't know. It was too late. I wasn't paying attention to who it was, but whoever's in the Twins broadcast, that cannot happen. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. And he said it 3 or 4 times. And then there was just silence for several seconds. And then it was like, ball one, just like to the next hitter. And then that was it. And then, so they don't score. And I mean, it happened so fast. Like intentional walk, next pitch, bunt popped up to first, double play, and it it sounded like somebody ran up to the broadcast crew and just kicked them all in the stomach. Because I think at that point they realized, we're just not going to win this game. And he just cannot happen. And so then you get to the 13th, and Scott Blewett is pitching for Minnesota. So if that didn't tell you anything, Blewett comes in the game. He'd already flirted with disaster in the 12th, so in the 13th, strikes out the first guy, then gives up an RBI double. But then, after that, gets a ground out, intentional walk, then another walk, and then guess who comes up to the plate with a chance to break the game open? Griffin Conine, son of former Royal and former Marlin Jeff Conine. And he gets a big hit, big single, drives in two, and then the Minnesota broadcast crew, they know it's over then. 8-5. I mean, Minnesota couldn't score a run for several innings in extra innings.
If the Twins lose this game, the Twins, to be a playoff team, would need to take all three here against Baltimore and have either the Tigers or the Royals swept in their upcoming weekend series. And Correa taps it back to McCacken, and he'll lob it to first, and it's close, and he's out. And the Twins' playoff chances in serious life support. Just poor execution. Far too often late tonight. Chances were there time and time again, and the Twins gave this one away.
I wish you could find the bottom of the or the top of the 13th. Cannot happen. Oh, hey, we've been there. The frustration, but that was just as they were talking about. Well, you know, the one thing you can't just don't pop it up. Then he immediately pops it up. He said you got to get the bunt down to the third baseman can field it. Bunts it towards the first baseman. He's like, does everything that they were hoping he wouldn't do, he did, Jeffers. So there you go. Marlins win 8-6, and you heard them describe it. I mean, now the Twins are just clinging to life. They have to sweep Baltimore and hope that either the Royals or the Tigers get swept. That's the only way they're in. They've got the tiebreaker against the Tigers. They've got the tiebreaker against the Royals, but they're 3 games out. So they have to sweep, and they got to hope either the Tigers or the Royals get swept. So it's very simple. Very simple. If the Royals win one more game or the Twins lose one more game, the Royals are in the playoffs. The magic number is 1. All right? Or in Spanish, it's Juan. Okay? 1. So, I mean, that's all you get now. You can get more in depth, and you could scoreboard watch about whether or not the Royals get the 5 seed or the 6 seed. That's between, or at least right now, it's between the Royals and the Tigers. If the Royals and Tigers end up tied, the Royals get the tiebreaker. And then obviously, if the Tigers finish ahead, they get the 5 seed. If the Royals finish ahead, they get the 5 seed. Okay? The Tigers get the opportunity to play the Chicago White Sox, who for some reason now refuse to lose game 121. So they're real diehards out there, you know. Now they've decided to play some Major League Baseball. So who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe the embarrassment of becoming the worst baseball team in the history of the sport has pushed them to refuse to lose. The Twins are playing the Baltimore Orioles, who I don't know their motivation. We'll see. We'll see how they play. But the Twins have to sweep them to have a chance. And then the Royals have the toughest assignment. They've got to play the Atlanta Braves, who are fighting for their playoff lives. And the Braves, when they're done with the Royals, still have a doubleheader against the Mets. And a wild card spot could come down to that very doubleheader on Monday. But between now and then, for the Braves to be able to have everything riding on that doubleheader, they need to get some wins against the Royals. So clearly, that's the toughest assignment. of the 3 teams remaining alive for the 2 wild card spots. And so the Royals and the Braves series will certainly have a playoff atmosphere. It'd be like a little mini playoff series. And you know what? If you want to be positive, maybe that'll get the Royals primed and ready for the wild card round. You know? Hey, look, it feels like the Royals have been in the playoffs now for the last 3 games. Sure as hell didn't feel like it during that 7-game losing streak, but after they lost 7 and then went to Washington, it was all pretty clear. You know what? They got to win. It's all the blanks and giggles are over. They just have to win now, and they've had to win, and now they've won 3 in a row. I don't care who it's against. They won 3 in a row. All right. If it mattered, if the record that the team you're playing mattered, if that mattered, then the Twins wouldn't have lost to the Marlins. You still have to show up. You still have to not bunt out to the first baseman and make your color analyst go crazy in the broadcast booth. You still got to beat the team in front of you. And the Marlins are a 100-loss team. And the Twins did not beat them last night in 13 innings. So I don't care what Washington is. They were the opponent, and the Royals swept them. And so now they head into Atlanta with confidence. They head into Atlanta with a 3-game winning streak. And they head into Atlanta knowing that their magic number is 1. And so Royals fans, baseball fans, you'll be glued to the TVs, watching, monitoring your phones, your iPads, however you watch the games, however you consume the games, very patiently to see when, knock on wood, the Royals clinch a wild card spot, and then what seed they end up. That will determine who they play. But right now, look, it's just, hey, win and get in. That's it. That's all that matters. Whatever opponent it is, I'm good to go. I'm like Chapel Roan. I'm hot to go for the playoffs. No idea if Jake catches that reference, but we'll find out at a later date. So it's all very exciting. That was exciting last night, staying up and watching that game that wouldn't end between the Twins and the Marlins. I still can't believe the Twins lost. We talk about how ridiculous those the extra inning rules are. They still couldn't score. It got to the 13th inning. That's a lot of failure with starting the inning with a runner on second base from both teams. You know, that was not. The extra innings there was not fundamentally sound baseball on display.
I don't think the Twins
cannot happen.
Have done anything fundamentally sound in the last.
Oh, this
month.
guy sounded like he wanted to jump out of the broadcast.
I'm looking for it.
Cannot happen.
I'm looking for it.
It can't happen, dude. All right. So tonight, Royals and Braves at 6:20 p.m. in Atlanta. Brady Singer on the mound.
Biggest start of his career.
Max Fried for Atlanta. Yeah, it's the biggest start of Singer's career. Never pitched for a postseason berth before. White Sox and Tigers will get started before that at 5:40. At least according to ESPN.com, Garrett Crochet is the scheduled starter for the White Sox. And then the Orioles and Twins, that's at 7:10 p.m. Pablo Lopez for Minnesota against Povich, Maury Povich, apparently, for Baltimore, who's 2-9 with a 5.59 ERA. So that doesn't look great on paper.
Go Crochet.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what?
The whole nonsense of him not wanting to be traded.
Yeah.
Come on. Make it
Go out there and make some money, dude. Go out there.
Our while.
Go out there and show any possible contending team that you might get traded to in the offseason. This is what I could do for you on the final weekend of the season, going up against a hot team, a playoff team. Let me show you what I could do for you.
I take back everything I said about you being a loser.
Just go shove.
That's right. Oh, it's funny how stuff like that works.
The White Sox don't want to lose 121.
Hey, I get it.
Do you?
Sure. They're playing for a little pride.
Oh, now? Finally?
Well, I mean,
finally kicked in?
They only got 3 games to not be the biggest loser ever.
Glad that finally kicked in.
Well, takes what it takes sometimes.
Yes. Yes. Now, you never know. You never know what motivates a man, you know?
It's true.
The brink of embarrassment can sometimes do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock bottom.
Yeah. Well, they found it.
Yeah, they did.
College football, big game in Manhattan, number 20 Oklahoma State, number 23 Kansas State, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Woo.
K-State is favored by 4.5. You've got Kansas playing their game at Arrowhead Stadium against a not very good TCU team. But we don't know exactly how good Kansas is. So 2 teams in desperate need of a win, in desperate need of their first conference win. 2:30 p.m. at Arrowhead Stadium. You can listen to it on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Kansas somehow a 2-point favorite.
Yeah. And then by far the game of the day, Georgia, Alabama, 2 versus 4, 6:30 p.m. Tuscaloosa. Georgia now a 1-point favorite. Then you get to the Chiefs. The Chiefs getting their first crack at the Jim Harbaugh-led L.A. Chargers. That game's at 3:25 on CBS. We'll just have to see who suits up for the Chargers. Because, let me tell you, that was a lengthy injury report that was released yesterday. And it's, hey man, division games are tough. Jim Harbaugh's a hell of a coach. Chiefs and Chargers always seem to have some really fun, dramatic games. But it's right out there for the Chiefs to just go beat the Chargers and hopefully have a comfortable win that doesn't come right down to the final play of the game. Some notables on the Chargers injury list. Rookie tackle Joe Alt did not practice with his knee injury. Tackle Rashawn Slater did not practice with his pectoral injury. So right there, your starting tackles, neither one of them practiced yesterday. Joey Bosa with his hip injury did not practice. Jeez. Derwin James, star safety, suspended. And then you've got quarterback Justin Herbert, who was a limited participant with his ankle injury. He was limited on both Wednesday and Thursday with his high ankle sprain. And on Wednesday, remember, he told reporters that there had been some conversations about resting until LA's bye week in week 5, but he did not think that's what they were going to do. But I will tell you, just the fact that we're discussing that shows how serious that injury is, and he's not going to be close to 100%. And if he does push through and if he does play, well, at this point right now, neither of his starting tackles are expected to play. And so that's the other consideration. Hey, let's put Justin Herbert out there dealing with a high ankle sprain, and let's do it with a couple of backup tackles. I mean, okay.
Sounds like a bad move.
Well, let's see. Let's find out. As far as the Chiefs, they added defensive end Mike Dana to the injury report with a calf injury. He did not practice. And so it wasn't reported Wednesday, so the injury must have happened or something aggravated during Wednesday's practice. And so now he's on the injury list with a calf injury, did not practice. The rest of the guys that are on the injury report, full participants. Shamari Connor was added with a heel, full participant. Jayla Watson, Nick Bolton, Derek Nottie, Rashee Rice, all full participants with their injuries. And so I know that's been an issue for the Chiefs so far with Isaiah Pacheco and Hollywood Brown. And so they're not feeling sorry for anybody else about injuries. But at least this week, of the players that are available, they're looking good, and the Chargers are super banged up already.
The line moved to -7 this morning, so I locked that one in.
Yeah. Because you never know.
Right.
It at some point, it just might be a Christian McCaffrey thing.
Yeah.
Questionable, inactive.
Right.
What did you say?
Yeah. So
Okay.
That's early morning check of DraftKings. I said, okay, well.
Early morning moves with Jake Gutierrez.
Lock it in at -7.
Also, let me add, I'm not going to spend very much time on this. Jake wanted me to put this on the mantle here, so I did.
It's a big deal.
Last night was the Media Mix Awards banquet, and I was honored to be nominated for Radio Personality of the Year, and I did not think I would win because I've been nominated 3 years in a row and didn't win. But I went, and I kind of wanted to go and hang out with people from the station because we were nominated for Radio Station of the Year. Chad Corey was nominated for an award. Ted Wiley was nominated for an award. Unfortunately, Chad and Ted did not win, but they're both awesome. And so it was awesome that they were nominated. Well-deserved. But Sports Radio 810 won for Radio Station of the Year. And then right after that, they it was like an award show, an awards banquet. So I went up with Chad Boger and accepted that award. And then I go and sit down, and I'm getting ready to enjoy a delicious dessert, like a banana pudding with whipped cream and walnuts. What is this? I'm focused on that. And then they said that I won. So I wasn't expecting that. I don't even remember what I said in my speech. Hopefully it was all right. But, man, wasn't expecting that. Thank you so much. Really awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen St. John.
Stop it. And Media Mix is a great organization of media professionals in Kansas City. This is the industry award. And so after 26 years, I finally gained the respect of my peers. And that was, it literally took a quarter of a century.
Better late than never, friend.
A quarter of a century. But here I am.
Here you are.
I have arrived.
Congratulations, brother.
That was very, very, very special last night. And I did tear up. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't have, so I just went up there and I winged it. And hopefully it was all right. And I do want to congratulate Cody and Zeke from 106.5 The Wolf, Julie Jones from Hot 103 Jams, and Dale Carter from 94.1 FM because those were the wonderful people that I was up against in this award. And so there are no losers in that category, only winners. And most importantly, some really, really nice people, good people in the community, and some very talented radio people that I was up against. And I was just lucky enough to win, so thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. And I did sleep with the award, so,
Cuddle with it.
Little smudged, so I apologize about that. Let me shine it here in the commercial break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Jeffers 1 sack bunt this year, and it's popped up and caught. Throw back to second, double play. Come on, guys. Can't happen. Cannot happen.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Can't happen. Cannot happen. No, come on, guys. Play that part again. Oh, why I like the guys. Come on, guys. Cannot happen. Because then after that, he said it a couple of more times, and then there was just silence.
On, guys. Can't happen. Cannot happen.
Well, it can, and it did. And you have to understand, that was the bottom of the 12th. They had been through it. And they still had another. And then at that point, they realized, good God, we're going to the 13th now. I'm not even sure it was so much about not winning. It was just about, another inning of this. Come on, guys. Can't happen. Let's go to Stan Weber. Stan, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, Stephen. It happened. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Minnesota. How about that? 3 days ago, we felt completely different about this Royals situation, but they got it done on the road with 3 wins in Washington. And then late at night, I go, what? Minnesota had ESPN was tracking them, with 85+% chance of winning their game and surviving in extra innings, and they lose. And now, what is it? The magic number is 1 for the Royals with 6 games left, 3 for Minnesota, 3 for the Royals, and they may even outpace the.
Well, you know what? Hey, look, just go win. Like you said, the magic number's 1. And I was watching. I was just kept checking scores last night because I was doing some work after I got home last night, and then. I finished this game won't end, and it just said, click watch on ESPN.com. I said, well, I let the boy watch, and so I did watch. I started watching in the 11th inning. I go, good God, these teams don't want to win, and then I felt for the Twins broadcast crew because, hey, look, we've all been there. You've called a million football games. I used to call some basketball games that were very lopsided against UMKC, and sometimes you let your frustrations out on the microphone, and Stan, that Minnesota Twins TV crew had it by the 12th and 13th innings. And so, just think about it. You start with the runner at second and nobody out, 10th inning, 11th inning, 12th inning, no one scoring. So it's almost like they were mad they were losing, but I think they just wanted to get the hell out of there at some point,
Yeah, maybe so, because they still could win the game in the 13th inning.
Right.
They were batting last. It wasn't over, but it can't happen.
Right.
It can't happen. And, wow, we just need to get this one more victory or one more Twin loss. And then, like someone taking a nap, Stephen, you need to go over and tap them and tap Kansas City in this region and remind them the Royals are alive, and here we go, like 2014, because this 2 7-game losing streaks since late August have taken the juice out of the love for the Royals, and the Chiefs obviously are everything, the biggest deal and the biggest sport in the world. The Chiefs just take all the oxygen out of the room. The enthusiasm for the Royals going to the playoffs has been kind of really low level. So I think we got to wake everybody up. Do you realize if they get one more win, how excited we should be, man? The playoffs start next week, and the Royals are going to be in it. This is super, super exciting, but everyone's been so tentative or down or, we're going to collapse or can't score a run. Whatever it is, the excitement level is not there like it was 3 weeks ago. And we just need to wake everybody back up and say it's real. It's time for the playoffs this next week. We got Chiefs-Chargers. Okay, we'll focus on that. And then the Royals are going to be playing in a couple days with a 3-game set. Best 2 out of 3. On the road. Can't wait. This is great. The Royals are back in it, man.
And look, the playoffs will start on Tuesday. 3-game series. We'll see where it is, but I'm with you. And hopefully they can. And this series against the Braves is going to be like a playoff series because the Braves have to win, and because of the horrible weather and the hurricane that's going on, they have to play their doubleheader against the Mets on Monday, and so they'll have unfinished business even when they're done with the Royals. But they got to win to make that series, to make that doubleheader even more meaningful. And hell, who knows, the way things work out, that doubleheader could be an elimination doubleheader based on what the Braves do against the Royals. And the Royals got to win because, look, we've seen crazy things in sports. And as their crew, talked about after the game, the Twins are up against the wall. They have to sweep the Orioles and hope either the Tigers get swept or the Royals get swept. And so, look, the Royals are going up against a team that's desperate for wins. The Twins are going up against a team that really doesn't have anything to play for. Their playoff position is already set. And so don't take anything for granted. Go out there and get, you know what? Brady Singer, it's time for Brady Singer to go out there and have a big performance in a big game against the Braves and just get this thing done tonight. Because I don't need to go Saturday and then Sunday and take my attention away from football, Stan. Get this thing clinched tonight.
Perfect. Let's focus on baseball on Friday and high school football, and then we'll roll into college football and the NFL. The Chiefs start division play, Jim Harbaugh, Chargers, all of that. That is a big, big deal. So that would be perfect. And, oh, by the way, the Royals are on a win streak. Hey, if they win this one, that's 4 straight. So there's a lot of negativity. My buddies sitting on the edge of their seat, waiting for a collapse to possibly occur. And here we are, 3 wins later, Minnesota blowing it some, and we're right on the cusp. Just take care of business tonight, like you said, and the Royals could be in the playoffs, and we can get ready for a great football weekend. We're getting used to that. And the ratings, how about the ratings in college football and the NFL? Just blowing records right and left. And Georgia, Alabama, tomorrow, what are the ratings for that college football game going to be? So it is a fun time. Let's go Royals. We'll hopefully Friday night and then advance to Tuesday and see what's going to happen in the wild card round. Could it be 2014 all over again?
Anything can happen in the postseason. All right, Stan, we got a lot to talk about, but obviously the biggest topic all week long when it comes to college football has been what's happening with UNLV. And we've seen this program up close because they played Kansas in the bowl game last year, and then they beat Kansas in the non-con this year. And also there's local ties because Barry Odom is the head coach. He's got a couple of former Mizzou Tigers on the staff. They continue to recruit the Kansas City area and the surrounding areas. And this is a team that, at least right now, has hopes of landing one of the playoff spots in the college football playoffs. And it's the first time they started 3-0 in 40 years. And so it's a fantastic year so far for UNLV. They have 2 wins in the Big 12. And then their quarterback, who transferred from Holy Cross, Matthew Sluka, sends out a midnight social media post that he's deciding to redshirt the rest of the year, basically because of an NIL dispute. And we've heard both sides of the story. UNLV saying that they met all of their promises and commitments, and that now Sluka and his family hired an agent, and now that his stock has gone up, they're going to go out and see if they, because he's not an NFL quarterback. This is his chance to get paid. He's going to go out and try to see if he can get more money from another team. And then Sluka's side of it says that an assistant coach with UNLV promised him $100,000, and all they've come through for is $12,000. And now when it's time to collect, UNLV's dragging their feet and not want to do it, and so he's going to redshirt and move on. Anthony Sherman he had a lot to say about it, and so did Jake, and so did everyone else we talked to. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about this very wild situation with UNLV football. That I will tell you, this is the tip of the iceberg, because if we think this is the only time this is going to happen, this is going to I think you're going to see this happen more and more often. But Stan, I'm just curious what your reaction was to this big story.
So you think about all the different things that occur to get to this point. Sluka now thinking that he has this value does Barry Odom, the head coach at UNLV and an old Missouri Tiger head coach, does he wish that Kansas would have jumped on that fumble and KU won that game in Children's Mercy? We wouldn't be having this conversation probably. That vaulted his value to say, oh, look, we got an undefeated quarterback right here. It is very interesting because there's so many different aspects to this, so many different players, and the dominoes start falling, right? I remember in 1981, K-State decided to do one of the most weird things ever in history. They redshirted a bunch of senior starters, okay? So in 1980, I was a freshman. And then in 81, and I played as a true freshman, in 81, the coach decided, hey, I'm going to redshirt a bunch of starters and gear up for the 82 season because K-State's never been to a bowl game in their history. This is all pre-Snyder. So we did that, Stephen. And so the seniors, these starters agree they'll stay an extra year, work out, redshirt, and come back next year. Well, guess what happened next, Stephen? The dominoes started falling. And people started walking in the coach's office and said, well, I'm not a senior starter, but I'm ready to be a starter, and I'm going to redshirt as well to gear myself up and play with those guys and treat 81 as a throwaway season. So that happened. Well, guess what? UNLV has a running back already come in and go, well, the quarterback stopped, so I'm stopping too. So where does it end? And how about this? What happens if UNLV said, yeah, you know what? Another booster said, this is a great season, I don't want you to leave, and calls him up and go, I'll give you $250,000 if you'll come back and play tomorrow. There's no rules that says he hasn't. It's not like the NFL. That's the thing. There are not contracts in place. There are not rules and regulations. He hasn't been cut. He actually could be the UNLV quarterback this week or next week. But the money flow, the commitments, this is one of the untold stories, Stephen, is there's a lot of talk when a player is out there in the transfer portal, and there's questions, does it happen before a guy goes to the portal or after? But we won't get into that. So let's say you got a guy who's going to transfer, and another school says, we've got this money sitting here for you. Let's say it's $100,000. It doesn't matter if it's a coach who says it or not. We're not talking about NCAA rules because the coach is just saying that our collective is going to pay you, or Joe's Car Wash wants to pay you. I mean, they're really just communicating what they think is really going to happen. So you make a commitment to go, okay, they said they're going to give me this amount of money. Let's move to the new school. The collectability issues, right? You're running into being a business when you take these offers. There's plenty of times here, Stephen, where guys have NIL deals if they're signed or just verbal, and then the money doesn't flow. How do you handle that? Do you go public? So here's an example where he said, you said you're going to give me $100,000. Give me my $100,000 and I'll play, but you didn't do it. Or is he saying, I'm worth more? So now we've got an issue with red shirts being allowed to have a red shirt year and still play 4 games. So which thing is causing the issue, Stephen? You're like a patient who's at the doctor and you got 7 things wrong with you. You can't go in and fix, your elbow being injured or your back being sore because there's so many things in your blood work and everything else. By allowing a kid to play 4 regular season games and a bowl game, so it's actually 5, and still counted as a redshirt year, opens up this venue. Because in the old days, if he would have played, then he couldn't have redshirted. But now we allow to have these games. So anyway, there's so many things. You could argue the kid's done nothing wrong. He's not an NFL quarterback. Ask KU fans. He can hardly complete a pass, which makes that even more painful, Jake, that right before a halftime pass. You remember that one, Jake? That's like the only pass I saw him complete all night.
That's what I was saying yesterday. I mean, the guy he's a less than 50% passer on
for
the
season, well below 50%,
like 43%. Like, yeah, I couldn't believe it when this news came out because I was like, what? Like, he's good enough. He's a good enough runner.
This is his chance to get paid.
He has no value to an SEC school. This is not a kid who went from Holy Cross up the ladder to UNLV and then realized, hey, he's a winner. And Georgia needs a quarterback next year, okay? How could you be upset with him if you go, hey, you're going to make $1 million next year at Georgia. Why don't you just get out of UNLV? No one knew how good you were.
He ain't going to Georgia.
No, he can't even complete a pass.
Right.
I mean, it was a miracle that he completed a pass against Kansas right after Daniels threw the interception right before the half. That was a disaster. But, it was even more of a disaster? From the 25-yard line with the clock running out, UNLV totally botching it. I don't know if you remember this, Stephen. Totally botching the end of half.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even going to get a field goal.
Yeah. They wouldn't call a timeout, and it was like, And it was like a buzzer-beating pass play for a touchdown when it didn't need to be. Even Odom said after, he goes, but guess what? I'm just going to be honest with you. I've seen stuff like that before when Barry Odom had coached. There were some times where, like, what is he doing? And so then they got away from it. Oh, yeah, that was bizarre. It was bizarre. Hey, we got to take
the ball. He threw the ball sideways. By the way, the 25-yard touchdown was not a strike downfield. He threw it over a defensive back for 1 yard downfield, and then the running back walked it in. So, no, this guy is a college quarterback, so he needs to make his money now. How this all works out, you just throw your hands up a little bit higher with what's going on in college sports. Welcome to the new Wild Wild West, even in season.
We have Stan Weber. We are going to continue the conversation about college football and the Chiefs. The Royals hopefully headed to the playoffs. Magic numbers now 1, thanks to the Marlins' 13-inning victory over the Twins late last night. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. All right, Kansas City, it's that time of the week when we talk to our friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Everyone knows that Andy's has the best sundaes in Kansas City, and Andy's going to tell us who had the best sundae for the Kansas City Chiefs in their win over the Atlanta Falcons. Andy, who was it?
Well, buddy, as I said last week, a win is a win, Stephen St. John. Boy, nothing like starting out the season with a few tight games. And did I mention we're 3-0? A couple of sacks on the day by Pennell and Felix. Another big turnover by Chamari Conner with an INT. Harrison goes 3 for 3 on a field goal. But as last week, I'm going to go to the last meaningful play of the game. Our leading tackler for the day, the guy that bolted through the Atlanta offensive line to make that play to seal the win for our Chiefs. I got to give it to our linebacker from Mizzou, the Bolt, 32, Nick Bolton, making a huge play to stuff Bijan Robinson for a 3-yard loss to seal the deal. That's right, Stephen St. John. The player that had the best Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium was Nick Bolton. Get that man a fresh, out-of-the-oven pumpkin pie concrete. Make it a large.
That's right, M-I-Z, Nick Bolton. And if he gets a large pumpkin pie concrete, you jam 2 slices of pumpkin pie in that large pumpkin pie concrete. And you could also get the 87 and running concrete to support Travis Kelce's 87 and running foundation. But Nick Bolton had the best Sunday for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to tell you what, you sold me again. I'm going to get that pumpkin pie concrete on the way home. I'm going to get a large, so I got 2 slices of pie coming my way. I can't wait. And if you were going to celebrate on Sunday and hopefully watch the Chiefs beat the Chargers, stop by and get that Pick 6. So you can pick 6 different delicious flavors of Andy's Frozen Custard and enjoy your own watch party at home and hopefully watch the Chiefs beat the Chargers. How's that sound, Andy?
Pick 6, take it to the house, buddy. That's right. And go get them Chargers, and we can do this. Go Chiefs, buddy.
That's right. That's Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Go Chiefs. We'll be back after this on WHB.
Join Kansas football in Kansas City as they host 4 home conference games at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. The 4-game season ticket package starts at $230 with great seating options in the General Seating Bowl, as well as a recent grad package, family zone, premium seats, and more. Don't miss any of the action as the Jayhawks host TCU, Houston, Iowa State, and Colorado. For tickets or more information, call 834-HAWKS or visit KUathletics.com today to secure your seats with the Pick Your Own Seat map. See you soon, and rock chalk.
We're raising the cannabis bar again. Relief Resources Dispensary has doubled in size. Missouri's best selection is now twice as good. Shop an unprecedented collection of top-shelf flower, edibles, concentrates, and more. Relief Resources Dispensary has everything you need, from chillums to dab rigs to smell-proof cases. Inflation got you down? Score bundle discounts on cartridges, pre-rolls, and shatter, and $25 eighths on select flower too. And if you're a veteran, senior, low-income medical patient, or public safety worker with a med card, you qualify for special discounts. Relief Resources Dispensary, still the only dispensary in the KC metro area with a 24/7 drive-thru and the only local dispensary with certified masters of marijuana on staff. Relief Resources Dispensary on 71 Highway in Grandview at 140th Street, or order online at reliefmo.com and pick up at the 24/7 drive-thru or lobby window with extended hours. That's reliefmo.com.
This is SSJ from my friends at Kansas City Credit Union. Check out the vacation loans available at Kansas City Credit Union. They offer competitive interest rates as well as flexible loan terms, and they're more willing to work with their members even if the credit score isn't ideal. And as an extra bonus, take out a vacation loan and be entered to win one of of 5 Kansas City Edition Monopoly games. Remember, if you work, worship, or reside in Jackson, Cass, or Clay County, Missouri, you are eligible for membership. Visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports for more information.
The NASCAR playoffs return to Kansas Speedway September 27th through 29th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com. Family 4-packs are available for just $198, including 2 adult tickets, 2 kids tickets 12 and under, and 1 racing electronics scanner with double headset. Sunday tickets start at just $49. Enjoy special pricing with valid student ID, teacher ID, military, first responder, or medical worker. Plus free general parking and camping for everyone. Visit kansasspeedway.com to purchase your tickets today.
Did you know you can now use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? Hey, this is SSJ, and I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. If you are tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, this is something you need to check out. People here rave about the results, including my wife. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. Under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now. Take action to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. 816-412-6299, located off 435 in State Line and also in Gladstone. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics.
You're listening to the most powerful sports station in the country. Sports Radio 810, WHB Kansas City, the power of sports.
The big screen is still the best way to enjoy the magic of the movies. At B&B Theaters, we've got the best big screens to enjoy the movies. B&B is family owned and operated and has been bringing Hollywood to your hometown since 1924, and they're headquartered out of the Kansas City Northland. Visit B&B this month for great movies like Beetlejuice, Speak No Evil, Red Room's The Greatest of All Time, and more. Visit bbtheaters.com to join our Backstage Pass loyalty